Hello, I'm Blake Scarlevi with Route 16, and I've got another quick pro tip for you. This one is around a new feature called low-code plugins. So basically, since they kind of are moving away from legacy workflows and more towards Power Automate, low-code framework, right, to build workflows, kind of in a similar sense. They're adding the ability for low-code plugins now. It's not like a nice drag and drop like Power Automate, but you do just kind of write Power FX expressions similar to like Canvas apps. So I'll show you how we can get started. So as of today, Microsoft released that the low-code plugins will automatically be installed in newer environments. So it just kind of depends if you have an existing environment or a new one. But if you're in an existing environment, you have to go to the admin center and then go to environments on the left, and then click on the specific environment you want to put low-code plugins in, right? And then resources and D365 apps. And then you can open app source and search for Dataverse. Let's see if this shows. Yeah. So it's the first result. If I put in Dataverse, so it's called the Dataverse Accelerator. You can get it now and add it to your environment if you have permission. Otherwise, you have to ask your admin. But once you do that, it should show up in your list of apps under Dataverse Accelerator. Looks like I have an update available. I'll have to play around with that. But once you get it installed, it's basically just a model-driven app. So if you go into your environment and do your app selector, it shows up here, Dataverse Accelerator app. You'll go into that, and then we just build the plugins with this interface here. So it does on the home page give you some examples you can follow, which is great for figuring out what they've done and kind of building off of their examples, right? There's two types. There's instant and automated. So instant, you just like run manually. You can also trigger them from like a Power Automate or a Canvas app or even the API. So you can kind of think of instant as, kind of like a custom API, right? We can build reusable logic in this low code manner, and then we can kind of call it from all bunch of different places. And automated ones are more like actual plugins where they trigger based on some event, like create of a record, update of a record, etc. And so we can either go new plugin here or if we go to plugins on the left, it should show us our existing ones. So these are some of the example ones. It's pretty cool. You can use these to like send emails, send in-app notifications. So you can see how that will be powerful, where we can just have these reusable logic of like sending an in-app notification that we can trigger from like a Canvas app or from, a custom web resource or whatnot. And then today I'm going to show an automated one. So I built one for validation on a contact. So let's jump into this. So here you just kind of pick what table you want, whether it's on create, update, or delete. And then right here, it's not the greatest text editor right now, right? But it is actually more impressive than I thought with the IntelliSense and like the errors. It kind of gives you suggestions based on your errors. But I can show you what I'm doing here. So this record is how you access the record that's being triggered, right? In this case, I'm just basically trying to validate that the mobile phone number is 10 characters. Otherwise, I'm going to throw an error. So in this case, it's funny when you open an existing one, it does the field in like this all lowercase syntax. But when you're actually building it, it goes by the display name, which is kind of cool. So we don't have to go figure out what the underlying schema name is, right? So in this case, I click mobile phone. So len is a expression to check the length. So we're checking the length of mobile phone on the contact. We're saying if, so we're doing an if statement. So if the length of the mobile phone is not equal to 10, then we have this error function where we can pass in some parameters. So there's different kinds of errors. We can do like a validation, which I'm doing now. IntelliSense is a little slow right now, but there's all different kinds. Conflict, required, something's required, etc. Timeout. In this case, I'm doing a validation. And then we can pass in a message that'll be displayed to the user. So I'm just going to say mobile phone must be 10 digits. And then once you save it, it's live. So this is still like public preview right now. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, right? Like there's no way to enable this or disable this. It's just live. And I believe as of now, at least for automated ones, there's no way to like put them in a solution. So there's definitely a lot of work that needs to be done. But now let's go into my actual environment. Let's go to a contact. And my plugin's running on create, so we're gonna have to go try to create a contact here. Just put in some, make sure the required fields are in. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put like 9 characters in the mobile phone. Go ahead and save it. So the low-code plugin should be triggering. Of course, duplicate detection. I'm gonna ignore that and save. Now it should be triggering. It should show us an error with our message about the length of the mobile phone. So there we go. And here's our message that we wrote in, right? The other thing is, I don't believe there's like a way to log like we can with plugins, at least as of now. But it does give us some helpful information. So it shows us like, here's the contact, here's the GUID, all the values of the contact. Although, if it's like an option set, it's just saying it's an option set. So it is trying to log some things, but it would be nice to have the ability to add our own logging, right? To kind of try to debug these things. So now let's just add another character. So we have 10, so it should be good, right? So let's save it again, ignore dupe detection again. So now this save should actually go through and create the record. There you go. So it worked. So there you have it. This is another tool. Still not really like production worthy right now, in my opinion. It's still public preview, so a lot of work needs to be done, but very excited about this. Have a lot of opportunities to use this for sure. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.